My name is Austin Mwape. I sit on the board of the National Advisory Board for Impact Investments. I also sit on the board of the GSG Impact. I represent the board on a project we are collaborating with the central bank called Small Business Growth Initiative. And I am the strategic lead for that project. We are working with support from CFF and some other collaborative stakeholders. In terms of the context, in terms of Zambia, the genesis of this intervention came from the COVID period. During COVID, banks basically drew back. They went into capital preservation mode. They were not lending. It didn't matter the historical performance of the projects they had on their books because they didn't know how COVID would impact them. So the central bank came in and put in a program called Targeted Medium-Term Refinancing Facility, or TMTRF. It was basically supposed to provide relief and enable banks continue to lend to priority sectors, which included SMEs. But fast forward, after the COVID and the post-mortem was held, it was established that actually, even though that facility was provided, commercial banks did not change their behavior, and the outcomes that they were hoping for were not attained. So, riding on that, we had a conversation with the central bank as a national advisory board and agreed to collaborate to structure an intervention which will unlock capital at scale for SME financing. And this is when we entered into an MOU to put together what we are calling a Small Business Growth Initiative, or SBGI. We are looking at, it's buttressed by credit guarantee scheme, but at the same time, there are a number of other interventions we are structuring to try and create the enabling ecosystem that attacks both the banks, the business development service providers, the SMEs themselves. For example, the fund will be managed under what is called an Apex institution, and then the Apex institution will place tranches into banks. For argument's sake, the Apex invests $100 million in Bank A. Bank A, now that $100 million, which is a deposit liability, will also double as cash collateral against a qualifying portfolio created specifically for that purpose. To participate, the banks will apply to the Apex fund, and there will be an eligibility criteria. So once the bank mirrors that to a qualifying portfolio, which means the key incentive there is that because it's being treated as cash collateral, it qualifies to receive certain capital dispensations from the central bank. So that whole qualifying portfolio will have a risk weighting of 0%, meaning the bank will not have to keep capital against that. And then another incentive for the SMEs is that because the collateral coverage now is between 40 and 80%. In this case, if we assume that the guarantee covers 80%, it means when considering an SME to participate in this, the collateral which the commercial bank will be looking for is for the residue 20%, which is not covered. Meaning it will be easier for the SME to find collateral cover. As you know, the major challenge with SME lending is the asymmetry of information. Attendant to this, there is a learning lab. So there will be, as the tranches are released, there will be data which the participating financial institutions will be required to submit to the Apex institution, and that data will be leveraged to improve the process in which the banks are lending. So it will also be blended with technology. Because as you know, technology leverages data against relationships. Technology will leverage machine learning, artificial intelligence, robotics, and over time, as the database improves, it is feasible to say the credit scoring will become more efficient, more accurate, and it will make the lending a bit cheaper. Also, one incentive I forgot to mention is that the placement in tranches will be below market cost. So the deposits or tranches which will be placed in the banks will attract a cost which is below the monetary policy rate. And the expectation is that the banks will pass that on. So over time, we expect this to scale and start impacting the SDGs and other outcomes desired in a meaningful way. We expect jobs to be, the job creation to go up. We expect contribution of this sector to GDP to go up. Already it's contributing 70%. It's accounting for about 99% of the jobs. The nominal number of businesses, 88% are in this sector. So this enhancement has a huge potential to scale with a huge impact on the economy.